It's over. Pack it up because it never has been so over like it is right now. The Elder Scrolls 6 has no chance at success while it's standing against the true greats of the industry, like Fable. Yeah, I know that sounds absolutely hilarious and stupid because it is. But no, seriously, some people are unironically thinking that Fable, the same Fable that we have all seen before, devoke disaster, removed morality, complete garbage slop, is actually somehow gonna beat Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out in 20 years.
It's been 15 years since Skyrim released, and 8 years since the Elder Scrolls 6 was first teased. Yet despite that huge time lapse between entries, interest has always remained high around Bethesda's next project. Outside of Rockstar, few studios could stay relevant after such a long gap between releases. So how has Bethesda managed to get away with it? Because of Skyrim. Not only did the game receive stellar reviews and incredible sales, but it has remained relevant for over a decade with high player counts and constant coverage. But that's not just because Skyrim is a great game. It's because nothing has truly replaced it. There is nothing quite like it. After
There have been many attempts, and there have been very successful attempts. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Babylon, again, I'm never gonna stop riding that horse, so no, don't even try to comment on it. Is a very good game, and honestly, it's kind of better than Skyrim in many respects. But the world is smaller, and I think that's what's preventing it from achieving the same highs as Skyrim. One of the biggest reasons why people, I think, like Skyrim so much in general is just how perfectly spaced the world is. You can always find something, but it doesn't feel crammed. And I think that's what most indie studios that are attempting to beat Skyrim can never achieve because they simply will never be able to make games as vast as Skyrim in the first place.
Skyrim's success, most studios would have rushed to capitalize with a sequel. Bethesda took a different approach, shifting their focus to new projects instead, from Fallout 4 to the online MMO.
Well, actually, they just resold you Skyrim 50 times at this point. That's what Bethesda did.
Fallout 76 to the new IP Starfield. None of these releases lived up to the expectations set by Skyrim, yet Bethesda continued to sideline the Elder Scrolls in pursuit of success elsewhere. Despite this, players still craved a game that could scratch the same itch as Skyrim, something to fill the void while Bethesda pursued other projects, so other studios tried to fill that gap. That was the risk Bethesda took by stepping away from the Elder Scrolls. Another developer could create the new Skyrim and replace
Crimson Desert is the closest thing we have to actually something that can beat Skyrim that is kind of equivalent ish to Skyrim, but still, it kind of feels completely different, doesn't it? The moment you make your combat as action orientated as Crimson Desert, I think you instantaneously lose the one-to-one ratio against Skyrim or those type of games.
them as the kings of the open world RPG genre. And despite many coming close and excelling in certain areas, no game truly replaced it because to replace Skyrim, a studio would need to deliver everything it did, but only better. While some came close, they always lacked some elements, only replicating parts of the experience rather than the full package. To make this clear, let's break Skyrim down into its core pillars. It has open world exploration with a vast map filled with landmarks, secrets, and dungeons. It has side quests and activities that give the world constant depth and variety. It has its fantasy identity, combat, magic, and deep world lore, and it has towns and settlements, each with distinct personalities and inhabitants. Then we have player freedom and
I don't know about that. I think that's a little bit glazing what Skyrim is.
customization, where you create your own character and define their role. And then finally, there's one of the most overlooked aspects, the simulation layer. You can buy homes, get married, decorate your space, run a business, sit in taverns, shop, and more. For many players, this is the cozy side of the game and arguably one of its most underappreciated systems. The sim-like elements made it feel like you weren't just playing a game, but you were living in its world. You'd head out to explore and fight, then return to your home or town, creating the perfect balance between adventure and relaxation. So these are our core pillars, and they add together to make the perfect game loop. In order for a game to completely make
I don't like how purple that chart looked.
Skyrim redundant, it has to cover all of these aspects, yet none truly have. Let's use a few examples. Crimson Desert's open world is larger, more detailed, and more varied than Skyrim's, yet it lacks a character creator, forcing you to play as Cliff. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 offers many sim-like elements such as house construction, alchemy, and blacksmithing, yet it's grounded in realism with no fantasy aspects. Elden Ring's open world offers incredible lore and over 100 unique dungeons.
I don't think Elden Ring or Kingdom Come Deliverance even tried to actually overthrow Skyrim or even try to come close to a Bethesda style game.
To explore, yet there are no towns or citizens to interact with. The Witcher 3 offered side quests that made Skyrim's look basic, yet dungeons were nowhere to be seen. I could do this all day. Despite each of these games matching, and in many cases surpassing part of Skyrim's experience, none of them managed to complete the full checklist. These were good alternatives to Skyrim, yet not complete replacements. If I said to you, I love Skyrim, what games are like it, you could name a few, yet each will be different in some way. There's nothing quite like Skyrim. This really shows how revolutionary it was for its time. Even 15 years later, it still holds a unique position.
It was pretty revolutionary for its time. Too bad Bethesda did absolutely nothing after that.
In the genre, largely untouched by anything that has.
Well, actually, they made Starfield, which we all wished that was forgotten. And by the way, Xbox just literally forced Bethesda to give up on Starfield, that they're not gonna concentrate on it.
Come after it. It isn't considered one of the greatest games of all time by accident. It's because it's remained a defining benchmark for open world RPGs ever since its release. As a result, while Bethesda released weaker entries after Skyrim, longtime fans kept returning to it. Despite other games outperforming them in specific areas, and titles like Starfield and Fallout 76 underwhelming, Bethesda has remained relevant. For most studios, this would have led to a decline in influence or even irrelevance, but because Skyrim was never truly replaced, they stayed at the top of the industry. They got away with it. However, it seems a new upcoming game may finally be the one to fill that gap, and it's arriving before The Elder Scrolls 6. Fable, developed by
I at this point I don't even think 50k. Will Fable reach 50k? Probably, yeah. Again, I think Fable is going to be in the ballpark of 60 to 80k concurrent players. But, I mean, that's not going to be enough. Fable's going to be a disaster. There's just a lot of people very desperate for a Fable game. Too bad the game's garbage.
Playground Games, this open-world action RPG appears to bring a lot to the table, with a recent gameplay trailer showcasing its features and suggesting that Skyrim's throne may finally be.
The recent gameplay trailer was unanimously hated by everyone.
At risk. Where most games covered some of Skyrim's features, yet not all, it would appear that Fable is attempting to cover all bases, and in most cases, push those mechanics forward. This may finally be the alternative to Skyrim that many have been waiting for.
Ah, yes. 1,000 gay romance. Great innovation.
And a potential threat to Bethesda's crown. Bethesda may have expected The Elder Scrolls 6 to arrive in an uncontested space, filling a gap that only they could occupy. But if Fable delivers on everything these games offer, and pushes it further, then The Elder Scrolls 6 could risk feeling like a step backwards.
I'm sorry, have you looked at the same Fable gameplay and news? The literal developers making Fable are like, morality doesn't exist.
By comparison, the best way to understand this is to compare each of the pillars directly, one by one. So let's start with the open world. Albion has been confirmed as large and diverse, featuring multiple biomes across 6 distinct regions filled with towns, landmarks, and dungeons. Although not fully revealed, the studio has showcased the Oakshire region, with rolling hills, lush foliage, and an English countryside aesthetic, with 6 distinct regions planned, each with its own identity,
How important do you think is going to be the Muslim region?
significant variety is expected. While Skyrim is impressive, its world is largely dominated by a single snowy terrain. In contrast, games like Crimson Desert demonstrate how varied regions, like deserts, jungles, valleys, and more, can expand exploration. If Fable delivers 6 distinct regions at the level of Oakshire, it could offer a larger, more diverse on Skyrim's world. The inclusion of numerous settlements, secrets, and dungeons further strengthens the sense of discovery. Dungeons in particular are a notable addition, as many modern open-world games tend to overlook them. If Fable delivers on these promises, it could combine the core strengths of Skyrim's open world while expanding them into something more ambitious, an evolution of the formula. It also features side quests with branching decisions that directly affect outcomes, with over 100 story moments.
Yeah, we know this side quest here. It was dumb, uninspired, nonsensical, and no one liked it.
Over 100 story moments already confirmed. Following The Witcher 3's dialogue system, these choices add variety to quest structure, with each decision impacting your reputation. The Witcher 3 side quests were already well ahead of Skyrim's design, featuring branching narratives, memorable characters, and meaningful consequences. In comparison, Skyrim often relied on simpler structures such as fetch quests, bounty objectives, and radiant tasks. While this was standard in 2011, The Witcher 3 raised the benchmark for quest design, influencing many later RPGs. When Bethesda released Starfield, it largely continued the older structure, which became a common criticism. Fable's approach appears to follow The Witcher 3's philosophy more closely, suggesting it could not only meet expectations in quest design, but potentially
How are we picking up on this? The quest that we saw here it's not even a quest. It's like, hey, random person for no reason. Do you think the pig should live or die? And you're like, I don't care. And that's it. That's it. Like, is this even a quest? This is not even a quest. We have not seen even a quest.
Them. Bethesda has also recently been criticized for writing that can feel simplistic, often leaning on clear-cut heroes and villains.
I would kinda choose autistic, but hey.
Contrast, The Witcher 3 embraced moral ambiguity, where outcomes are often subjective. Fable's director has stated it will take a similar approach, avoiding obvious moral answers and allowing
they're choosing to avoid obvious moral answers because they're a bunch of woke losers who don't believe morality is real. They said there's no evil, there's no good, there's just gray. How the hell do you even have a main villain in this story in that case? Like, isn't the villain the good guy considering it's morally ambiguous? Like, what are we talking about here? And by the way, in this video where he's taking it from, the developers kind of completely tried to backpedal and said, "Oh, no, there's no morality, but you can be good or evil, yes," which doesn't make any sense. Like, what the hell?
Choices to be interpreted differently depending on perspective. This kind of nuanced storytelling is something that Bethesda has struggled to match, and a key reason why many prefer The Witcher 3's quests and narrative over games like Skyrim and Fallout 4. If Fable delivers on this, it would mark a significant step forward, one that Bethesda may struggle to match. As for combat and
there is no way they do anything deep. Okay, you wanna know the biggest takeaway, the biggest reason how we know that this is not gonna work out beyond the obvious? It's this thing right here. See this? It's floating right there. These people consider their potential future audience so stupid that they need to explicitly tell you what these NPCs are thinking. There's no ambiguity. There's just literally, yes, this is what these NPCs think of you, that's it. And whenever you get it, this is just stupid. They're treating you like an idiot. This is what it's going to be like. And when the developers treat you this poorly, they treat you this obviously as an incoherent, bumbling mess, how the hell do you think they're going to write anything good? They're not. They're going to fail miserably.
Struggle to match. As for combat and fantasy, Fable also ticks this box. It features fluid weave-based combat with seamless switching between melee, archery, and magic, along with dynamic spell combinations like tornado lifts and teleport.
Look at this gameplay that we're seeing. There's like this woman, and there's another woman, and all of this looks dull and boring. They came out and said, "Oh, this is actually just the easiest difficulty." Yes, yes, easiest difficulty. It's lies. It's just bad.
Attacks. It is expected to support multiple combat styles. Skyrim also offered a strong variety, from one-handed and two-handed weapons to bows, spells, and shouts, allowing for diverse builds and playstyles. While Fable's exact depth remains to be seen, its system
Look at this combat. It's so bad.
suggest a similar level of flexibility. It also features a wide range of fantasy creatures and enemies such as trolls, cockatrices, and hobs, matching Skyrim's emphasis on variety in fantasy. As a long-running franchise, Fable also benefits from an established lore foundation, giving it the potential to compete directly with the Elder Scrolls in world-building depth. Where Skyrim excelled, Fable appears positioned to match it, raising clear implications for Bethesda. The game also features numerous settlements across its world, each with distinct personalities and architecture. One recently showcased town, Silverbrook, the capital of the Oakshire region, is a peaceful farming settlement with crops and produce shaping its identity. Settlements vary in size, population, and landmarks, ensuring that no two feel the same. But what elevates this further, above Skyrim, is its
Nothing elevates this further. Look at this. This is supposed to be the cap. I didn't even know this. I probably missed it. If this is supposed to be the capital of this region, it just looks like every other town you have already visited. It's just your fucking Hobbit Shire, but without the orcs. That's it. That's it. If this is supposed to be the capital of this region, why does it look like everything the same? It's just stupid.
same. But what elevates this further, above Skyrim, is its NPC interaction and reputation systems. There are over 1,000 handcrafted, fully voiced NPCs, each with a daily schedule, job, home, relationships, hobby, and personal routines.
Yes, I'm sure this is extremely deep.
Essentially,
The same way this beggar is considered hardworking. Yes, babe, I'm not kidding. This guy is considered hardworking, yet he's jobless.
these characters live real lives and have real names. The player can interact with all of them, and their opinions
Jack the beggar, a hardworking commoner. Handcrafted.
shift based on your actions. Acts of kindness may earn respect from some, while others will see it as weakness. Building wealth and buying businesses can inspire admiration in some, while others will perceive that as arrogant. As a result, not only does each NPC form a unique opinion of the player, but entire settlements do as well. The game show
This woman who owns a shop, a business, looks down on you because you are capitalistic. Make it make sense.
showcased how one store owner didn't like something the player did, so they charged higher prices and spoke meanly to them, whilst others appreciated it and were more receptive. The world is constantly reacting to
Also, all of them look bad. They look ugly.
your actions. While Skyrim offers distinct town locations, it lacks a comparable reputation system. NPCs can be spoken to, but they do not develop meaningful opinions, and their routines are relatively simplistic and largely unchanged, regardless of player actions. Fable surpasses Skyrim across.
Wait, how does Fable even do that? Because someone just says something mean to you at random? That's it?
The board in this regard. What makes this even more concerning is that Bethesda has largely regressed in this area. In Starfield, NPCs have no meaningful routines, often wandering aimlessly, with many unable to be interacted with and showing little reaction even to gunfire. If The Elder Scrolls 6 follows a similar design, while Fable delivers on what it's shown, it could reflect very poorly when it finally releases. Then we have player creation and role-playing. When Fable was first announced, it featured a generic-looking protagonist, which led to concerns that players might be locked into a fixed character. However,
Because that was 100% true. After the backlash, they created a male character and customization options. The first time we saw the male character, it was done on the female mesh, thus the gay walk meme appeared. This was always the thing that you were supposed to play. They have a body scan, they have everything. So you're telling me this character, which is just gonna be a random nobody, because you can actually make your character, don't worry about it. Had a face scan, a voice scan, all of these things done, but it's just like, where's the logic? Okay, you can customize your character, but this one specific type of character has everything scanned for them? Interesting. It's on the cover of everything, it's on the front of everything, and after the backlash that you can't make your own character, suddenly there's actual representation in marketing from the male character? Ain't that strange? Ain't that odd?
However, it's since been confirmed that you will be able to create your own hero, fully restoring player creation. This is an element missing from many modern RPGs, where players are often restricted to preset characters. Here, however, customization goes even further. You can change your clothing, hairstyles and tattoos, and shape your character's combat style, and based on your appearance and attire, it will directly impact how NPCs think of you and what they say to you. Dress fancy, and some will see you as rich, whilst others will think you a snob. Dress in rags, and some will think you poor, while others consider you humble. Combined with the reputation system and branching quest decisions,
Bruh, this is exactly the type of one-dimensional perception of humans that I expected, by the way. Oh, look at that, he's dressing rich. That must be a snob. Oh, look at this, rags. Oh, he's so humble. That is the stupidest way of perceiving people ever possible. Oh, look at that, he's poor. He must be humble. I'm sorry, but am I the only one who has seen those videos where the homeless just throw away food given to them and they're not humble in the slightest? Okay? The average poor person is fucking not humble in the slightest, okay?
it not only matches Skyrim's
This is just the romanticization of what being poor is in the opinion of the woke.
customization, but expands upon it. Skyrim is relatively limited in its role-playing depth, with Bethesda stripping back features seen in earlier titles like Morrowind and Fallout 3 in favor of accessibility. As a result, most playthroughs feel largely the same regardless of your character choice. Starfield attempted to improve this with traits and backgrounds, but the overall experience still plays out similarly, regardless of starting options. If you and I both play Skyrim and Starfield, no matter our starting characters, our experiences will be largely identical. In Fable, however, the combination of decision making and reputation systems means playthroughs are shaped far more uniquely. Every character will have a different story and be treated differently. It builds on Skyrim's foundation and pushes it further. So at this point, Fable isn't just ticking every box that was in Skyrim's design, but it's aiming to elevate it further. But it's the
Surely.
simulation aspect where the true difference really begins to take place. So in Skyrim, you could buy one preset home in each major settlement. In Fable, you can literally buy any home in the game. Literally any and all of them. You can either move in yourself or rent it out for a profit. In Skyrim, you could meet someone, wear an amulet, and then get married. In Fable, you can romance characters by meeting their requirements, go on dates, propose, and get married. You can even have
I love how this simplifies relationships to just a fucking dumb checklist, by the way. Yeah, that seems about right.
them move into your home and start a family. If married in Skyrim, your spouse would own a never identified shop. They would just basically give you money. I still don't know what my wife, Ayla the Huntress, was doing on the side, but she just kept giving me money. In Fable, you can buy literally any business. Pubs, shops, barbers, and so much more. You can set prices, wages, and manage your staff. You can literally hire anyone and fire them too. There are over 120 shops in-game, from tailors, hairdressers, and bakers, which all sell unique stock and can all be owned by the player. So it's not just cosmetic, it's literally a business running simulation within the game.
By the way, the reason that they did this, because everyone was talking about how you can own things and property in Fable. It was one of the unique things about it. And as per typical, they just needed to push this to 11. Because this is what these types of developers do. They have no idea what's good. That's why we're getting baby Grogus everywhere. I'm actually surprised kind of that Fable doesn't have a baby Grogu. Maybe there is one. Maybe there's gonna be one?
Skyrim allowed players to use systems like blacksmithing stations, alchemy labs, and other crafting interfaces. Fable allows you to literally work at jobs for money with unique minigames attached to all. The developers have described
Ye- Relax, deep breaths. There's no reason to lose my shit just yet. Let's look at the unique mini game.
the game as an action RPG where you create your own character, complete side quests, and make decisions. But they've also stated there is a game within a game, a sim-like builder where you can interact with every NPC, buy any business, and purchase any property. In short, while Skyrim
Did you see that unique mini game? That's great stuff.
offered some sim elements, Fable goes far beyond them, offering a level of freedom few games have matched. You could ignore combat and quests entirely and instead spend your time living in the world and building a property empire. In comparison, Skyrim's simulation system feels far more limited. So let's bring up our Skyrim chart again. As established, many games released after Skyrim improved on individual aspects in its design, but
Okay, the conclusion is, boys, believe it or not, Fable's gonna do it. It's gonna be amazing. 10 out of 10. Fable to the Grand Fable over. No, the Grand Fabler. That's right. Oh, boys, I hope you're ready. Come on, how is this a real video? I'm sorry, but this is just insane. Yeah, if you're English, I kind of understand your whole personality and life depends on Fable being good, but this just feels a little bit too far. Anyway, that was AVV Gaming 10 out of 10. Bye!